Dean, he truly is a marketing genius, referred to as the marketing Buddha. Although that has nothing to do with any spiritual connotation, just wanted to let you know. So basically, Dean invented the squeeze page, where you have to, enter your name and email to opt in to go to the next page. He started it with something called Stop Your Divorce. Millions of individuals and companies and websites utilize what he invented back in 1997. And he learned marketing many the same ways I did, Anyway, whatever you're going to talk about is going to be awesome. So, okay. Dean Jackson, thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So imagine that there's a title there called A Systematic Approach to Breakthroughs. Now that title implies two things, that there's a system and that we're going to create breakthroughs. And a system is something that you can do again and again and again. It's repeatable, and that is what I'm going to share with you. And breakthroughs are different than incremental improvement. What I'm talking about is looking for things that are multipliers, not incremental improvers. And I had a conversation with Dan Sullivan just over a year ago, May of last year, and out of that conversation came this idea for me of doing small group 3-day events where I got to spend time with 12 entrepreneurs going deep into applying our 8 profit activators that we talk about at I Love Marketing to businesses. So over the last year, I've done 12 of these events. I've been to London twice, been to California, Toronto, and I've seen lots of different examples of breakthroughs, and I'm going to share 47 of them with you today. We'll keep going, and I'll see how many I can get to, but number one is the approach that I take to this is just like, how many golfers are there in the room? Okay, if you're going to improve your golf score, the very best way to improve your score is to get better at 3-foot putts. It's not to become a better driver or to add 10 yards or 20 yards to your drive. It's about getting better at scoring. And scoring to me means getting more people to work with you, more people to do what it is you do or to buy whatever it is that you sell, and get the result that you're in the business of getting. So the number one thing, and how many of you here last year when I shared the idea of asking the question, what would I do if I only got paid if my client gets the result? How many of you? Now, when I shared that, I talked about that as a clarifying question, and that's the number one thing that you can do is make a better offer. Now, the confusion sometimes that people have is they start to see, well, I can't afford or I can't guarantee that I can get the result. I don't want to put my money, make my money contingent on them getting the result, so they discount it or shy away from it. And I told you last year that it took me 2 years of asking that question before I came to the solution. So I'm giving you notice. That was been 1 year right now, and I'm telling you that that is the number one way that you can create a breakthrough in your business, is to make a better offer. Okay, number 2 is about this idea of converting the leads that you already have. And I loved what Clayt was talking about yesterday with his idea of the strawberries, that there some are red now, some are green, some are black. But the truth is you don't know which ones are which. So in Profit Activator 3, and you can all download the 8 Profit Activators that I Love Marketing. A lot of you are familiar with them right now. But Profit Activator number 3 is about educating and motivating people to do business with you when they're ready. So what we're looking at is how can we convert more of the leads that we already have. And one of the assets that you have right now, if you've been in business for at least 90 days, how many people have been in at least 90 days? Okay, you've got an opportunity to reconnect with some of those strawberries that came in green 90 days ago that are red today. And there's something that I've seen the most amazing breakthroughs with that I call the amazing 9-word email that revives dead leads. And what this is just a simple way of reconnecting with the people who came in maybe 90 days or more ago. I invented this, came up with this process for real estate agents where we'd send people a message if they came into the website 90 days ago saying, Dean, are you still looking for a house in Winter Haven? That's it. That's the 9-word email. And we've used that formula for so many different things. We have a guy came to one of our Breakthrough Blueprint events, came to our I Love Marketing conference, used the 9-word email. He's a yacht broker, sent it out to his yacht prospects and said, "Are you still looking for a yacht?" Found somebody who today is under contract on a $120 million custom-built yacht from just sending out a short email. That's all it is. Don't re-engineer, don't change any of the things. Just ask, are you still whatever it is that you do? And you'll be amazed. We could create a breakthrough for you before we even go to the movie tonight, if you've got the ability to send out a message like that. Now, converting the longer-term leads, that was breakthrough number 2. Number 3 is to assume that they want to buy now and act accordingly. When you look at this, I want you to start thinking about your leads in portfolios, in a bundle of 100 leads. Rather than looking like individual like this, we're going to look at the group of them and understand what's going to happen. There's a couple of different scenarios here. They're going to fall into one of these 4 quadrants. They're either going to buy or they're not going to buy. We know that for sure. Now, the best studies that I've seen, there's a company called the Inquiry Handling Service. They handle millions of inquiries from reader service cards or trade shows or things like that. What they find, and this is a good number for a benchmark for you, is that roughly 50% of the people who inquire about something today will buy what that is within 18 months. So we look at that. We looked at half of the people are not going to buy, so we can eliminate 50% of them. But what they found is of the half that are going to buy, 15% of them will buy in the first 90 days. 85% of them will buy longer than 90 days. They find this out by doing what they call did you buy surveys. They'll follow up with people and say, hey, you were at the trade show, you inquired about faucets, did you buy faucets? They'll ask them at 90 days, 6 months, 9 months, all the way out to 18, and that's how they get that data. And we've been tracking this data for our real estate agents, and it works across the board. So look at it for you, but here's an easy way for you to find out for yourself. Look at the 100 leads that you generated in August of last year and just do an analysis and see how many of them bought in this 12 months and when they bought. The second way to do it, to get a good benchmark, is to look at the last 100 people that bought and just go back and see how long did they enter into the system. And by combining those two, you'll get a good sense of when people are going to buy. Now, if you were in Las Vegas and you were gambling on one of these quadrants, where would you put most of your chips? Well, you'd want it on the 85%, right? Because it's a longer term thing. But here's the thing. Right now, the thing that is available for you as the breakthrough is to put your chips right here, right now. Because the only time you know which of those 100 is going to be in that group of 85 is 90 days from now, right? You're not going to know the only people who can buy right now are the 15. So we want to assume that everybody that comes in, whether they opt in or just come to your website or inquire about something, we want to assume that they want to buy and they want to buy right now. So we've used something simple, another version of the 9-word email, to just engage with people individually, one person at a time. So if they come to your site, they download a report, you send out a message that gives them access to the report that they just downloaded. You give them some of what's going to happen, and then the next day, on top of that message, looking like a very personal message, we send them a message that asks them a sorting question, just to see if they're willing to engage. So if somebody comes into our real estate website, we'll send them a message that says, hi, Dan, welcome aboard. Are you an investor or are you looking for a house to live in? Just a simple sorting question like that. We've had fitness guys who ask a question, are you looking to gain muscle or lose fat? And by engaging in that dialogue, you'll get short answers from people, but you can now take that into a dialogue. I'm looking to gain muscle. Great, how much muscle are you looking to gain? So you're imagining this as a conversation. And the way to find those people is engaging with them one-on-one. It's like taking a man-to-man approach versus a zone approach. So often we just settle for putting people in our gauntlet series, and then if they don't buy, treating them as bad leads. I'm saying engage with them one-on-one, and that's where the breakthroughs are. There we go. 4 seconds left. Look at that.